Hey everybody, Chris here. In this video, we're going to be giving you the May price prediction for Dogecoin. Please be sure to subscribe to my channel. Hit that little notification bell too. You can be notified when new videos come out, as well as when I do live streams. And looking back on the month of April, I called it again, spot on for 2 months in a row now. I predicted Dogecoin would come up into the 11s. I thought it'd be a little bit higher on the support around April 21st for Dogecoin and the anticipation of X money. April 21st had a little bit of a run, but the bigger run came on April 29th up to 11.2. I thought we'd be in the mid 11s, close, and then I said in that video that we would end the month of April in the 10s, and we did that. So now we begin the month of May. Here it is, May 1st, and we're at 10.9, right below 11 cents. And this is strong support for Dogecoin. Now zooming out, we have seen Dogecoin go on this run here in the latter part of April after these successive moves up. And each one of these moves got sold back down. Every one of them got sold back down until here we were leading up to April 21st. And then each move, the fallback did not come back to the base of the move. And again, we had the same thing here on April 28th into the 29th. The move came back to about 10.12 or so, did not come back to the 10-cent support line, which I thought we would probably hit the 10-cent support line and come down in the 99s, and it didn't happen. Buyers came in and brought the Dogecoin price back up. As we begin the month of May, we still have uncertainty with US-Iran, and with that uncertainty, what does that lead to? It leads to higher oil prices. We got inflation, this pesky inflation still going on in the United States, and you would think the stock market would be uncertain and nothing would be going on with the stock market. But instead, we have the stock market coming to new all-time highs again. We talked about this yesterday where NVIDIA led the charge. And what happened was there was a big sell-off in NVIDIA and a lot of the other chip stocks, while other stocks were going up. And we ended up pushing to new all-time highs in the S&P 500, new all-time highs in the NASDAQ as well, despite pullbacks in NVIDIA and other chip stocks. So that's setting up for something that could happen in May that could be a bigger stock market pullback, because most of these stock prices are inflated, I think, and we could see a pullback, and part of that could be, again, on news of what happens with these military operations. It's not a war, right? Military operations. We've got a long month of May ahead of us, and with the uncertainty of what's happening, maybe it's all priced in already, and everyone's like, okay, that thing is going on, we're still going to trade, and we're still going to buy. So that is still out there. But we still have the 4-year cycle of Bitcoin, and we would expect to see a lower low following 4-year cycles, and that would happen sometime this summer. We talk about this a lot on my live streams. My next live stream will be next week, probably on Wednesday. So make sure you're subscribed. You got your notifications on so you can join in on the live, ask me questions. We have a good conversation and try to have a little fun too. But with this is what we would expect following the 4-year cycles for Bitcoin, is that Bitcoin would now, after its successive moves up above resistance, we would have a pullback. And then there would be some bigger event that would happen to pull back the price of Bitcoin. Does that happen in May, or does that wait until June or July? We will be watching that, but that is an expectation that a lot of people have. Of course, I've been on this bandwagon since last November, saying lower prices in the summer, and I'm sitting mostly on cash. I'm doing some swing trading on some stocks mostly, a couple cryptos, a couple smaller cap cryptos, but mostly on stocks, waiting with dry powder to buy crypto on the dips, DCAing through the summer That's my plan. That's what I'm doing. Not financial advice for any of you, but what I'm doing. Bitcoin returns, if we look, we had April up almost 12% for Bitcoin, and now we start the month of May, and Bitcoin's already up over 1.5 points here on May 1st. Traditionally, 2022, again, we're doing 4-year cycles. May was a negative month, down 15%, and in 2018, down almost 19%, following a big 2018 followed a big April, where April was up 33%. So if following the 4-year cycles, May will turn red for Bitcoin, and we could see that move down, or starting that bigger move down into June. You know, sell in May, go away, right? That old adage mostly happens with stocks, but we could see that again with crypto. Now, in 2025, Bitcoin went up in May. 2024, Bitcoin went up in May. But again, those were bull market years, and we would expect that to happen. The reset year of 2023 was down about 7%. So that has been what the past has been for Bitcoin. As we turn to Dogecoin, we have anticipation of X money launching still. It did not launch in April. That's Elon. He doesn't meet his schedules, right? He plans things out. He says, okay, we're going to launch next month. He said that in March, and X money didn't launch. There's a SpaceX IPO, which we think is going to happen in June. Are these related to Dogecoin directly? No, but anything that Elon does in some big event always happens to cause Dogecoin to spike up. Again, over the past month, we saw Dogecoin going up on these spikes and then falling back until the latter half of April. And why is that? Well, it's because we've got whales. The whales are buying Dogecoin. And as Dogecoin starts to move up here with this kind of move, again, we had this 9-cent support, strong support we had, going all the way back to the beginning of February when Doge had dropped down to 8 cents. We had little dips down to the 8 9s, and we were following those along, and this is starting to be a real big cup right here, a big cup. Will we have a handle following that? And is that handle in the month of May? We will be watching that. But this move up has been primarily the whales stacking up, retail traders too, of course, coming in and buying in anticipation of X money, in anticipation of SpaceX IPO. And there's other things going on with Doge OS and the Clarity Act. I don't think the Clarity Act particularly applies directly to Dogecoin, but many do talk about overall for crypto. And as overall crypto goes up, that is good for Doge. We have Bitcoin right now at 78K. So that 78 line has been strong for Bitcoin since hitting it back here on April 17th. And Bitcoin has been moving up and down. I was expecting Bitcoin to do more of a drop here into May, and that could still happen for Bitcoin. Again, this was a prediction that I made back on April 17th during a Friday live stream. Somebody asked me what I thought Bitcoin would do, and I made this sketch. And so I think that fallback could be coming. So again, just a point of reference to take a look at. But what does this mean for Doge? So for Dogecoin, well, we could see this. This is Changelly's website, and Changelly is looking for something too, of Dogecoin coming back up over 11 cents, up to 11.2, 11.4, maybe even 11.5 cents coming up. Again, this is FOMO a little bit, and anticipation, X money, that is still there. Whales still buying, but we could see some capitulation happen here during this, maybe the second week of May, where we fall back into the 10s and could even touch down right below the 10s to 9.9 or so. That move could still happen. We've got CoinCodex and, Cloudflare. I got to do a little verification. Yes, I am human. So we have CoinCodex here, and CoinCodex has, again, a continuing upward movement of Dogecoin, but CoinCodex is more positive, with Doge coming into the 12s and maybe even touching 13 cents in the month of May before starting to come back. So that is a little more bullish. I'm kind of more bearish, again, in this bear market overall 4-year cycle for Bitcoin. I'm a little more bearish as well. If we look at the last years for monthly returns for Doge, we will see in 2022, Dogecoin dropped 32% in the month of May. 2018, it dropped 35% in the month of May. 2014, 32% down. So that's 4-year cycles. Yeah, it's pretty tough. Now, each of those were preceded by an April that was negative 7.3%. Actually, 2018 came up a little bit. Well, 84%. That's pretty good. I'll take that. We had 15% for Doge last month. So starting to right the ship a bit. We see that on the chart. So far up over 2.4% in May. But if we follow the 4-year cycles, we will still be in the red negative. So that leads us to Dogecoin, still the 9th largest cryptocurrency by market cap and holding strong as the top 10. So what does this mean overall for Doge? Again, I think we could see price going up into the 11s, maybe touching into the 12s, and then falling back into the 10s, which is where I would see the month of May finishing off. So let me know in the comments below, what do you think about price of Dogecoin? What's your prediction for May? Give the video a like. If you haven't already, please subscribe to my channel. I appreciate the support. We'll see you next time.